Slow robot. Okay. So I wanted to do a spreadsheet that would help people make some judgments on whether or not Reason Plus versus a standard perpetual license makes the most sense for them. So I did that, and I'm going to share the link, obviously in the video. It looks a little complicated. It's not too bad, but I just wanted to do a quick video on showing how to read it once you've entered all the information. So basically, all you need to do is fill out the fields that are in red. So the first question here: how much money per month are sound packs worth to you? For me, it's 0, but we'll put in $2 just to say that. And then the next section here is all about the stuff that's included in Reason Plus that you may not already have, as far as Reason Studios rack extensions. So I think I caught everything. I may have missed something. If I did, let me know, and I can update it. But so basically, all you're going to do is say whether you want to. It's something that you would want to buy separately if you were to not go with Reason Plus. If you were going with a perpetual license, is something that you would want to actually purchase separately. So I'm going to say friction. Yes, I'm just going to do this kind of how I would myself. Okay, I have all this. I have Reason Suite, so I don't need most of this stuff. Pattern mutator I would like to get. And I think that's it. Yeah, I have all the rest of the stuff. And you don't, for the nose, you don't have to fill these out if you don't want. So that's that section. And then we're going to fill out our expected annual budget for additional rack extensions and VST plugins. And it helps to be as honest with yourself as you can be. So if you spend like $500 a year on extra plugins, that's what you should put in here. So I'm gonna say I probably spend about 350. I'm just guessing. I could go back and look and find out for sure, but I'm gonna guess about $350 a year I spend on additional plugins. And then the big question here is, how long do you expect to continue using Reason in years? So obviously, I'm just gonna put in probably 10 years, probably more than that, but I mean, just to get a sense of what we got here. And that's what's going to drive the rest of this calculation over here. And then this last question is just, are you eligible for first year, their first year existing user $120 discount for Reason Plus? So if you're an existing user, you can choose yes, and that will factor into the calculations. Okay. So now how to read this. So we've got a few different sections here. The DAW only section. So this is only looking at the Reason Plus as it is and the Reason Perpetual license alone. We're not talking about any additional plugins. So as you can see here, over a 10-year term, you have a Reason Plus usage cost of $2,280, and you have a perpetual license cost of $866. And it tells you, of course, the cost difference over the term. If this was a red number in parentheses, it would mean it would be negative, and it would mean that the better option in that scenario would be to go with Reason Plus. DAW Plus plugins section takes into account the expected the additional stuff you're purchasing outside of Reason. So the estimated cost of Reason Plus and third-party plugins, rack extensions, and VSTs over 10 years, in this case, would be $5,780. And if we're getting a perpetual license and purchasing our Reason rack extensions a la carte, so we're spending money on friction, we're spending money on whatever other Reason Studios plugins there are, that would be reflected here, and that's over 10 years. So this again includes this annual budget. So it's including that $350 per year. That's where these two kind of calculations come from. And then, the cost differential between those two. And then over here, you see the, cost weighted. You should consider getting a reason perpetual license. And, you can manipulate the numbers to make it more, more favorable for a reason plus license. So you can play around with that. But and then the value adjusted section. So this is where the how much money per month are sound packs worth to you comes into play. And since the sound packs are really the only kind of differentiating factor in terms of something that you can't get with a reason perpetual license, I wanted to include that here. So basically what that does is that takes, so how much money per month are sound packs worth to you? $2 a month. That's going to add that that value to, or subtract that value from the adjusted amount for a reason plus, and in comparison makes an adjustment to determine whether or not for those sound packs does it make more sense to you in terms of just value. So if we make this like 15, like I just love sound packs so much, they're my favorite thing in the world, you can see evaluated, it's suggesting you consider a reason plus. So that's the main kind of chunk over here. And then I added this other piece over here, which just kind of looks at the difference between the savings that you may or may not have with the perpetual license, and how that may allow you to buy some of these additional plugins that you would normally buy. So in this case, it's basically, will reason perpetual license savings cover the expected plugin purchases over 10 years? The answer is no in this case, because I got a fairly high expected annual budget for additional plugins. And then it gives you the reason cost per month. Well, the monthly cost that's adjusted to include your annual budget for additional plugins. So in this case, if you were paying for Reason Plus and you were spending $350 a year on additional plugins, your monthly cost would be about $48. And the same thing here, this except for the perpetual license, it's this $350 annual budget added to the cost of the standard Reason perpetual license update. One thing I forgot to mention before, I'm just assuming an approximate 1.5 year release schedule for major upgrades. And of course, this also presupposes that you are buying every single major version update if you're going with a perpetual license cost. So if you skip every other one, you're going to save even more over the term. But so let's flip this. I just want to make this go. No, so you can see and the reason I included this here is so you can see, like, if I wanted to basically budget myself and say I'm just going to set aside $16.96 a month, I can cover my perpetual license every year. I can cover, in this case, $100 worth of extra plugins over the course of the year. So basically, I'm going to share this. It's already shared, but you can check out the link in the description, and hopefully it's helpful. Hopefully I did all the math right. If anybody finds that I've done the math wrong, just let me know. I think I did it right, but I'm not an Excel genius or a math guy really all that much. So if I screwed something up, please let me know. But otherwise, I hope some people may find this helpful. And yeah, so that's that. Hope you find it useful.